Hi everyone. All right, today we are going to finally attempt to land on the moon. So far we've managed to fly by, and we've kind of been hobbled by finances because we needed a sufficiently large rocket, but in order to do that, we needed the money. So let's have a look. So now we've fully upgraded our vehicle assembly building, which means that we can support many more parts than we previously did. And of course, our launch pad has been upgraded, which means it can support a much bigger rocket. So now we're going to go and upgrade our moon rocket so that it's a proper moon lander. Oh, but first, we have gathered up some science, and I want to unlock the proper engines for landing on the moon. We'll go to advanced rocketry. We want to get the Terria liquid fuel engine. It's got amazing ISP, 345 in vacuum, and it weighs very little, just half a ton. It is perfect for our purposes. Okay, so we're going to research that. We have 113 science, which is just right. We're going to research that for 45. Now, while we're here, let's have a look at what else we have. We have 68 science, so we can't afford any of these. But what's this? So this will allow us to unlock the first level of McJib. Yeah, I think we are going to go with that. And that's all we can afford. Okay. So now, let's go upgrade our moon rocket. Alright, let's open her up. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? The moon lander. There we go. Okay. So this is all pretty good. It's flown to it's done a flyby of the moon and back. That's great. We just want to swap out the engine. So the Sparrow goes. We don't need this particular fuselage. We can use this one, which is the same. It just sort of looks different. And let's attach our engine to that. So the Terria goes underneath. Okay. Now I want to make the middle stage a little bit bigger. Oops. Okay, no, that's fine. So we'll attach these two. Attach a couple of these. In fact, we might go for one of these, which is the same amount of fuel as one of these. It's just one part instead of two. And then one more. Like that. Perfect. Okay. Okay, now, to attach these. Want to swap any of these which were single parts into double parts, just to reduce the part count for us. Okay, so let's see. Dump these, that, and that. Okay, nope, wrong one. Okay, clone that. What's going on? There we go. Oh. What is going on? Okay. Fine, that'll do. Okay, now let's attach one of these. Okay, now the rockets. Good. Center swivel. Good. Okay. Winglets. Tail fins. There we go. Lovely. Okay. Do we have a heat shield? Yes, we do. Perfect. The heat shield is really handy when we're returning from the moon, so you can really dig into that atmosphere. There we go. And this thing is spun around on us again. Okay. Whoops, looks like our tail fins were a bit off. There we go. Yeah, it does not seem to like it for us to rotate the whole rocket that way, so I might just spin it back around and then we can keep working on it. Okay. Okay. Good, there we go. Lovely. Now, let's attach some legs. Hello, we have a Rove Max Model S2. It's a tiny little wheel, okay. I need some landing legs. Now, usually you can get away with just 3 legs, but I find that that's a bit unstable, especially on the soft lunar surface. So I like to attach 4. Make that as low as possible so that it's beneath the engine. So if I detach this, oops, yeah, what often happens is you just attach your legs like that, and what happens? You'll land on your engine and you end up toppling over. So I like to attach and then just move the legs as far down as they'll go, so that when we land, the legs will be the first to touch down and not the engine. Okay, that will do. Good. We retract these. So that is really all we need to land on the moon. But while we're there, we may as well gather up some science. So just going to attach whatever science we do have. So, pressure barometer. See, that'll go in here. A thermometer, good. And you can probably attach a materials bay to this as well. Yeah, may as well. Okay. That's all we have. And attach a bunch of mystery goos. Now the mystery goo is a single use, just like the materials bay. Unless if you have a scientist on board, you cannot reset the experiment. So I'm just going to throw 4 of these so we have a nice few uses. Okay, good stuff. That will do. Just double checking our delta V. It's actually smaller than I expected, just 6,000. How are we doing here? Do we not have enough fuel? Huh. Yeah, 6,000 is not a great deal. I might double these. Hang on. Right, so thrust to weight is 1.88, which gives us just under 2,000 delta V. So the second stage is 1.72, which just gives us another 2,000. And then the last stage gives us 2,000, which should be enough to take us right to the moon. It's just that I would have expected it to be a bit higher than that. Oh. Okay, I'm just going to swivel this one around. There we go. And attach our structural clamps. What? Okay. Perfect. Smooth these clamps up as nice, as high as possible. There we go. Okay, and we might want to have something to communicate with. Just wondering what we could do with this. We might be able to sort of create a relay around the moon along the way. So what we can do is we can attach, say, a stay putnik, and while in orbit of the moon, we can just leave it there and leave this high gain antenna, which can act as a relay. I think that might just be asking a bit too much. You know what? Never mind. We'll just make it strictly a moon mission. Let's have a look at our contracts. Okay, we don't have a mission to go to the moon, which means we will not get paid as well as we'd like once we get there. So let's make sure that there's no existing job that says land on the moon. Explore the moon. There we go. Orbit the moon for 51,000. Okay. Plant a flag on the moon for 141,000. We'll take that. Science data from surface of the moon. Perfect. Test Juno basic jet engine splashdown at Kerbin. Not interested. Test the heat shield at the launch site. No. Haul the solid fuel booster into flight above Kerbin. Not interested. Conduct atmospheric surveys below. Okay, well, we'll accept that. We'll do that at some other point, but it's good. It's good to have that one. Not interested in this one. All of these are belows as well. We'll take that. And ferrying tourists, suborbital space flights. We still don't have enough automation involved, so we'll just pass on that at the moment. Okay, let's check our messages. Return trip from the moon. We've taken our first steps towards exploring the moon. Recent accomplishments. Science data from around Kerbin. Okay, fine. Back to our VAB. Okay. Just triple checking our staging, and I've already seen something wrong. There we go. We want to launch at the same time as detaching our clamps. Sometimes you want to fire the engines before you detach the clamps, but this is fine just as it is. So we'll fire the rockets, the first stage. We'll detach, fire the second stage, detach again, fire the third stage, and then on our way back we'll detach and finally use our parachute. Good. Okay, turn this off. Save that. Put our crew on board. So Valentina Kerman has returned from her hiatus after that disaster at the launch site. So we shall send Valentina to be the first Kerbal on the surface of the moon. We'll save that and launch. Hopefully she survives the launch this time. Okay, well, she has definitely survived the launch pad. The rocket is nice and stable. So let us have a look. Just triple checking our staging. So first stage and the clamps. Second stage and rocket. Third stage, rocket. Final stage, parachute. Good, good, okay. We'll just quick save this just to be sure. Throttle right up. Okay, engage SAS. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, we are away. I'm just going to immediately start steering towards the horizon just to make as much use of our atmospheric rockets as possible. Whoop! What's going on? Okay. There we go. Started a bit of a twist for some reason. There we go. Okay. Oh, I must remember to turn off the roll control from the fins. The fins are really causing us to spin. Very, very sensitive. Okay, we're not leaning as far as I'd like by the time we hit those clouds, so I'm just pushing the AOA a bit. That is angle of attack. Basically, if you have too high angle of attack, you run the risk of breaking your rocket apart in extreme cases, but also you are losing a whole lot of energy due to friction against the air. Okay, I'm just using my joystick just to steer us as far as I can without being too aggressive. It's just a little bit tricky, very, very sensitive. Come on, I would really like to hit 45 degrees before we go too high. Okay, 15 kilometers, which should be at about 35 degrees, I think, at this point. So just pushing that. See, if you do this too much, you end up losing too much energy due to friction because you don't leave the atmosphere in time. It's very, very tricky. Okay, still pushing that down, and first stage is burned up. Detach, engaging second stage. Okay, we're starting to get out of the thickest parts of the atmosphere, so we can start to get a little bit more aggressive. 15 degrees. There we go. Okay, down to 10 degrees, I think. Okay. It's not as shallow as I'd like. It's still a little bit steep, but this will definitely do. Okay. I have an apoapsis of 70 degrees. This is good. Valentina still hasn't got the first star of pilot, so I don't really have a whole lot of stability assist options here. But that's fine. Okay, apoapsis of 110 kilometers. I'm going to get that to about 150 before we do our circularization burn. There we go. Engine cut out. Good, so we're definitely going to space today. We have 617 meters per second remaining in this second stage, which is less than I'd like. I would like to have around 700, but this is fine. So as soon as we circularize, in fact, I would have liked to have had about 750 after circularization, but that does not matter. We can always tweak the design a little bit later. I think this should be enough to get us to the surface of the moon. So we'll add a maneuver node, add apoapsis, and just add enough delta V to circularize. Okay, just dragging that up nice and slowly up to 150. Whoops, too far. There we go. So 153 is good enough. So now we have to fast forward until it's time to burn again. We'll just turn the rocket so it's facing our maneuver node by the time we get there. Oops, too far. Okay, there we go. So now we pretty much just wait for our maneuver node. We can take in the gorgeous views. This, of course, these visuals are provided by the EVE and Copernicus mods, which make it look so much better. They add these very highly detailed cloud formations and so on. And we can in fact see clouds and their shadows as they cast them on the planet at the same time. Just utterly gorgeous. And of course, much more detailed stars in the distance as we see the Milky Way galaxy. And in fact, we can see the Mun over there, just sneaking inside the solar flare. The underside of our rocket is lit up by by the planet, and this is of course provided by another mod called Scatterer, which sort of simulates light reflecting off the blue of the planet and then illuminating the underside of the rocket, as you can see here. Okay, 3 minutes 20 seconds. While we wait, I might read up a little bit about the Apollo program brought to us by Wikipedia. The Apollo program, also known as Project Apollo, was the third United States human spaceflight program carried out by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, known to us as NASA, which accomplished landing the first humans on the moon from 1969 to 1972. First conceived during Dwight D. Eisenhower's administration as a 3-man spacecraft to follow the 1-man Project Mercury. It put the first Americans in space. Mercury put the first Americans in space. Apollo was later dedicated to President John F. Kennedy's national goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to Earth by the end of the 60s, which he proposed in an address to Congress on May 25, 1961. It was the third U.S. human spaceflight program to fly, preceded by the 2-man Project Gemini, conceived in 1961 to extend spaceflight capability in support of Apollo. Okay, 2 minutes to maneuver node. I might just accelerate time a little bit. This maneuver node is going to cost us 252 meters per second delta V, which will leave us just a touch over 350 left in the tanks. This is a lot less than I would have been comfortable with for our second stage. Doesn't matter, we shall make the best of it. 2000 delta V in our final stage should be enough to land on the moon and take off again. I'm just not sure it's going to be enough to orbit the moon and return from its surface as well. We shall see. Okay, nice and full burn, and we are in circular orbit. So I'm just going to kill this maneuver node, and let's target the moon and plot a course. Okay. What you want to do is, you know the moon is going in this direction, right? Counterclockwise. So you kind of try to pick a point about 15 degrees in front of it, and then pick the opposite side of Kerbin as the maneuver node, and then just add a whole lot of prograde. So once you get close, you get these closest approach markers. Push that a little bit further, and as you can see, this is not going to cut it. This is going to be way too late. So the moon's going to be here, we're going to be here. So now we just drag it forward until we get an intercept. Now notice how what's happening here is, when we get here, the moon's going to be there, but by the time we leave it, it's going to be behind us. So what's going to happen is, we're going to hit the moon and get launched by it way, way further out. This is obviously not good, because that means we have to burn to lose all this velocity. It's handy if you want to use it as a gravity assist to get to Minmus, or even to get outside the Kerbin system. But for now, we're just going to change our direction so that we get there later, and we actually get in front of the moon. The moon will then slow us down rather than accelerating us. Okay, just having a look at the moon itself. Okay. Whoops, too far. There we go. It'll give us a nice low orbit. Okay, and now we might just fine-tune. So I'm just going to revert camera and fine-tune this maneuver node for us. Okay. So we don't need this. No, we might just manually adjust. Okay, manually adjust by 1. Oops. I want to try to get this maneuver node as close as we can so that we make the most of the fuel we do have. Okay, this is getting us a nice low periapsis on the way back, but it's raising our orbit above the moon. We don't really want that, so I'm going to try to decrement our prograde. Okay, that's just no good. Let's move this back. Okay. That's about to hit the moon. Okay, so let's reduce our prograde. See if we can save up a little bit. Okay, and manual adjust some more. Okay. This is nice and tricky, but if you put in the time, it really does pay off dividends. Okay. Now this is going to launch us right out of the system, so what I've done is I've gone too far. Okay. Let's just play with that a little bit more. Focus on the moon and let's see. So this is going to give us a periapsis of 249. 162. 77. Okay, too far. 516 meters. 3 kilometers. 12 kilometers. 12 Ks should be perfect for us, for our purposes. Okay, let's do that. So we'll kill SAS and slowly rotate towards our target node. We don't really need to do that, but it's always good to just have it ahead of time. Now this is going to cost us 806 meters per second delta V. Which is quite a bit. Let me just do some back of the napkin math. That'll leave us about 1500 delta V remaining. And we will need, I estimate, maybe 200 or 300 delta V just to circularize around the moon. And then we'll probably need about 600 to land and 600 to take off. So we'll probably just squeeze in. Just scrape by, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so we have 18 minutes until our maneuver node, so I'm just going to fast forward to that. And around we get to see a gorgeous Kerbin sunrise, hopefully soon. We'll close that alarm. And we have 2 minutes, 30 seconds to burn. Fast forward to the last. Now we have the sunrise. One minute to go. Coming up, and in fact, we can see the moon in the distance. Okay, 38, 30, 20, 10. Okay, and we'll throttle right up. Now we're going to have to stage at this point and discard as soon as we've depleted the second stage. Okay, that's engine shut off. Stage. And third stage engine. Away we go. Okay, 100 and 100 meters per second to go. 50, 20, 10. Good. So we'll kill this node and see what else, if we can fine-tune it. Okay, now we'll just burn a little bit more so we can get on the other side of the moon. Okay, our trajectory is still going into the moon, which we don't want. It's burning a little bit more. There we go. 15 kilometers. Perfect. Okay, now we need to warp until we reach the moon's sphere of influence. But before we get there, let's add a circularization burn. So the circularization is going to cost us, let's see, 261. Oops, too far. Okay, so it's going to cost us 270 meters per second, which is going to drop our total delta V to about 1300, which may be enough. It may well be enough. We shall see. So we'll set an alarm for that maneuver node. It's going to be in 6 hours and 50 minutes. So there's the moon in the distance. It's now time to fast forward to get there. There goes Kerbin behind us. There goes the moon. Getting nice and big in the window. Okay, and we have just entered its sphere of influence. Now, while we're up here, we may as well do an EVA. Perform all science. Okay, so we've already done this one, never mind. Okay. There we go. Now, this is where we get to use our first mystery goo. So this will give us a nice 20 points of science, so we'll have that. Now let's get closer. There we go, approaching our burn node. Lovely. Now we'll do the second mystery goo. That'll give us 30 science. Excellent. Okay, 2 minutes, 30 seconds to burn. 2 minutes. 1 minute, 30 seconds. 1 minute. 30 seconds. 15, 10, 5, and burn. Okay, we are now in orbit of the moon. Just gotta take that apoapsis down to be roughly circular. Okay. So that has dropped us to 16 kilometers apoapsis and 11 kilometers periapsis. Having a look at the orbital lines, making sure we don't actually end up hitting any of the mountainous terrain. Yeah, no, that's fine. Good. Now we can do an EVA. And that gives us... let's see. So just above the moon's midlands. Perfect. That'll give us 24 science. Okay, now, here is as good a place as any to attempt a landing. So we'll just turn towards retrograde. There we go. And just burn. Hang on. There we go. And just burn until we can get a roughly 45-degree angle to the ground. It would be much easier if Valentina knew how to aim to retrograde, but we'll just do that ourselves for now. So we'll activate our engine. And just watch that orbital line. Okay, we're getting nice and low on fuel, 1100 meters per second delta V. Just dropping that down. That should be about right. There we go. Good. Now we're going to need another 300 delta V just to land. Hopefully we should have enough to take off after we're done with that. We'll just fast forward a little bit. Okay. Gear. Just looking for a shadow. Usually you have to find your shadow. Still don't see it. Okay, I better start burning. Where is our shadow? There it is. Right there. Okay, we're going nice and fast horizontally, so we have to kill most of that. That nice and slow. Don't know if you can hear me breathing rapidly. This is very, very tricky. 700 meters per second delta V remaining. We've almost dropped our horizontal velocity. Okay. Lost our shadow again, but I can see the pebbles on the terrain. There's our shadow. Okay, down we get. There's our shadow. Going a little bit fast. Oops, too far. Coming down. Down we get. And we're down. Nope, 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 nope. Ah. Okay, we've toppled over. But we did not blow up. Whew. The eagle has landed and the eagle has toppled. More like a turkey has toppled. Anyway. We can retract the gear now, I suppose. Yeah, yes, we can rotate. We can tumble. Yes, we can roll. We can barrel roll. Oh dear. There we go. This is an exorbitantly tall rocket. I'm not sure we'll be able to move it back. Okay, we're gonna have to get creative to write this rocket again. But for now, let's do some gathering of science. So just rotate so that we can open up our materials bay. Okay, so this will give us 100 science if we can ever get it back home. Close these doors. Observe this mystery coup. Okay, that'll give us 40 science if we can recover it. Hey, go EVA. There you go, Valentina. You're on the moon. Will you be able to topple the rocket up? Doesn't look like it. Oh well. Let us plant a flag. Plant flag, please. Valentina's landing. Here, the brave Valentina Kerman first landed on the moon. There we go. Can fly around. Let's see. What I want to do is, in order to write this rocket, we're going to have to engage the engine and hopefully fly uphill. Fly uphill so that way we can get a nice bit of vertical velocity. Okay, so it looks like that way is uphill, and then there's a bit of a dip, and then there's more uphill. So that is going to have to be as good as we can manage. Oh dear. Looks like our hatch is obstructed. Let's see if I can push the rocket over to try to get in there. Oh, come on. Come on. Roll over. Roll over. There you go. And jump in. Okay, we are on board. Okay, so I'm just going to quick save and try to take off uphill that way. Nope, 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 nope. We're going a little bit too fast. Come on. There you go. Okay. Up we get, up we get. Yes, yes, yes! There we go. Okay, at 270 degrees, we've made it! We've taken off! Whew! We have managed to take off without blowing up. any parts of our rocket by sliding on our sides. I'm not sure why we needed these landing legs in the first place. And we have completely run out of fuel. We're completely out of fuel. Oh no, okay. Val, you're gonna have to get out. We are going to have to get you to get out, Val. Yeah. This is going to smash right back into the moon. This is no good. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, no, this is gonna fall right back onto the moon. Okay, Val, you are going to have to use your suit. Valentina, how'd you get? Take all the data with you. Good. Now let go. Okay. And now go. Now what Valentina is going to do is she's going to use her suit to try to orbit the moon. Because if she smashes into the moon, she will not be alive, so we can't save her there. But if she can end up in orbit, we might just be able to send out a rescue to pick her up. Okay, so we'll just fast forward until she reaches apoapsis. There we go. Come on, Valentina. Okay. Okay, just burning to prograde, trying to get us into circular orbit. Burning through most of our fuel now. We're down by 2/3. Come on, nearly there. There's the periapsis. Atta girl, Valentino. Okay. Good. That puts her in a circular orbit around the moon, which means we can fly out there and pick her up. Perfect. Hang in there, Valentina. We'll come by to pick you up soon. That will have to be our next rocket to get there and pick her up. Nothing else to be had for that. Okay, and that is time. We're gonna have to pick this up in the next episode while we attempt to rescue Valentina from orbit around the moon. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.